I'm back. Okay, I want to show you another technique before I'm done here for this. So the black, I've, kind of fixed up the back of the bottle, which originally I wasn't very precise with because I just didn't want to waste time on that. So now here we are, same black brush, same cap that I'm dipping in. And what will really give this bottle dimension, excuse me, pardon me, what will really give this bottle dimension is adding another color. This is where the brush gets wetter, okay? What's important is thick paint is the opacity. It is 100% solid. And when you're blending to add dimension, you want to have a thin layer. You want it translucent. And how you make paint translucent is with watering it down. So again, I'm going to dip my brush into here. It's a little bit wetter. And I'm dabbing it into there. I'm going to dip it in again. I'm looking for a certain consistency. And then I'm going to dab it in the purple. Okay, now I have a wet brush. I'm probably going to want it wetter, but I don't want it to run. That's where the important part is. I'm going to dab it off. See, there's purple in there. And when you want it a little bit more wet, and what I'm doing is I'm actually putting purple in the black. So this is really important when we get to the sides because you're not even going to notice it, but it's going to give the bottle a dimension, which is probably some of what's missing when you look at bottles that you really like or people's artwork that you really like, and you're wondering what makes it stand out over another person's bottle. It probably has to do with these little tips. There's that purple where you're just adding an extra color or an extra dimension that your eyes are picking up, but you're not picking up and stylizing when you're actually making it. So I like to use brown. I like to always dark colors. And you see where I'm blending this, I'm getting more purple, lots of purple on my brush that time, dipping it in the water, making it pretty. It is now really wet, but it's still not dripping, okay? You can never really use a drippy brush. And see, I'm adding this little bit of purple on the back, on the bottom, just wherever, up top. And look, I love to do this. And rather than doing a line, I'll go over this thing 100 times, but that's just me, because I want to do things again on top of what I already did. And the more you do that, the more dimension. One of the things that makes art interesting is editing, when to edit. And that's a lifelong, that's a tough thing to figure out, because editing is where a lot of us go bad, where we hit something perfectly. I made a stone wall in my house. Maybe I'll show it to you. And it's about the editing. So look, I actually put some of this back where I had blended it out, but I still have my little foam brush and I still have my colors here. And I'm a big fan of just mixing it all up. And I'm going to pull it out and watch what happens. See, even if it looks like I messed it up, watch. This is the beauty. You can pull it out. You can salvage. It's about blending. Look at how it's blending now. And this is why I say practice, experiment. Look, now I got that light. I'm just pulling stuff out, just creating more dimension with the purple. Oop, got a little bit of gray, but it's okay. Just pull it out. These little tiny differences are what makes something beautiful in the end. You don't want that perfection. Look, and when I hit the purple on the back and the black, it created a slightly bit of lavender instead of black. And that's why you do this. Look, here's purple. We're creating multiple colors with the same 4 colors of paint just by tapping the bottle. And now our bottle is no longer black, right? It was all black, and now it's no longer all black. And the wetter it is, now you can just go in and stipple this a little bit wherever you want. And I keep it light on the back. I'm not trying to fill all the space. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Again, I still have time. I don't think this video is too long. I'm just dabbing in all the stuff I've already been in and adding. Look, doop, doop, doop. Doesn't really matter. We're just adding dimension. Light, brush is a little bit wetter. When I'm blending here, I'm trying to keep it dry because I'm trying to be a little bit more precise, right? And when I get to the back, it's wet, and that's what's causing these colors to blend. It's already wet. You see how the paint is shiny? I hope you can. So anyway, now I'm doing the top of the bottle, getting over here. My fingerprints are probably taking that off. And then I'm just blending. Look at how that is really starting to pull out. It's about being imperfect. And then when we go back and add the little touches, you'll see. Now you see what we've done here. You really can't go wrong. Experiment with how wet your brush is. You see, I'm just going over top of everything I already did to create this. Oh, I like this. See, that's a happy little mistake, as Bob Ross would say. Happy little accident, or whatever he would say. Yeah, and here we go. Here we go. Here we go. If you have questions, there might be stuff that I know that I'm not communicating because I know I've done this for so long, and I know that when you know what you're doing, you miss some of the basics. So please ask below in a question on the video if you want, and I'll try to answer it. You know, where do I get my paints, or what? I'm just trying to think. But how does that look to you? Does that look good? If it's not blended enough, go back. Go back until it meets your expectation of what you want that bottle to look like. It also looks a little bit different when it's dry. And then sometimes I just do this even, just to blend it in a little bit, you know? Just pull on my brush. Just to give it a little bit of aged, like on the corners. You can do that too. All right, so what are we missing? Now we have a fully dark bottle, which is great, but now it needs some light. So this is where I take this. I haven't cleaned anything, and now I'm dipping it in to reactivate it. Wetness reactivates paint, right? So here, we want some of these stipples. Ooh, that looks good. Let's try this. Ooh, right here, I love stipples on corners, you know, kind of where, and then you just pull them out a little bit. Stipple, stipple. Oh, look, there's some light here, so I absolutely want to carry that out. Oh, some light here. Let's carry that out, right? You just kind of can't go wrong. I've done a lot of experimenting in my life, so I kind of know what to do and where to do it because I've been doing it for a long time. And I know for newbies, you probably have questions about this, but I wonder what you're thinking. Do you like it? Do you think it needs something else? We haven't put the lid on yet. These maple syrup bottles. This is a maple syrup bottle, and it came from Amazon, and it has a lid. And then what I'll do is once the bottle's fully painted, I will actually put the lid back on the bottle when I can stop sticking my finger in it, and I will decorate the lid to match. Now, the only reason I'm not doing it now is I got to pull out the Mod Podge. I do the whole thing all over again. But it's so simple. It takes 2 minutes to Mod Podge, let it dry, put on the primer, let it dry. Sometimes I don't even put on the primer if I'm using chalk paint. Chalk paint works a little like a primer, so I can just go on with the black. And I will make this pretty much black. Let's just do it. What the heck? Well, I don't want to teach you bad things, so we'll do that. Anyway, the next is the finishing touches. Thanks for watching.